The executive offices of Sterling Associates occupied the 42nd floor, where floor-to-ceiling windows framed the city skyline like a living painting. Victoria Ashford had worked 23 years to earn the corner office with her name on the door, and she'd sacrificed plenty to get there. 2 failed marriages, countless missed holidays, and a relationship with her own daughter that existed mostly through text messages and hurried phone calls. At 57, Victoria had made peace with her choices. Success demanded sacrifice. That's what she told herself every night in her pristine downtown apartment, eating takeout at her marble countertop, alone. It was a Thursday afternoon when she heard the commotion outside her office. Her assistant, Patricia, was speaking in hushed, concerned tones to someone Victoria couldn't see. "I'm sorry, but Mrs. Ashford is very busy. You really should have called ahead." Victoria stood from her desk, smoothing her red blazer, prepared to handle whatever crisis had arrived. When she opened her door, she found 2 small girls standing in the hallway, identical twins with cascading brown curls, wearing purple knit vests over white shirts. Each held a mop that was taller than she was, their small hands gripping the handles with determined dignity. They couldn't have been more than 7 years old. "I tried to explain that they need an appointment," Patricia said apologetically, her reading glasses hanging on their chain. Victoria looked at the girls, then at Patricia, then back at the girls. "What's going on here?" The twin on the left spoke first, her voice small but steady. "Are you Mrs. Ashford, the CEO lady?" "I am. We're Emma and Lily Cooper," said the other twin. "Our dad is James Cooper. He cleans your offices at night." Victoria knew the name vaguely. The building contracted with a cleaning company, and she'd occasionally seen the night staff when she worked late. A tall man with kind eyes who always nodded politely and moved his cart out of her way. "Our dad is sick," Emma continued, her brown eyes serious beyond her years. "Really sick. He has pneumonia and the doctor said he has to stay in bed for 2 weeks. But Dad said if he misses work, he'll lose the contract, and we need the money for rent and for our school uniforms and for Lily's glasses," Emma added, pointing to her sister. "She broke them last month, and we're saving up." Victoria's throat tightened. "Where is your father now?" "At home. Our neighbor Mrs. Patterson is watching him, but she had to go to her own job, so she dropped us off here." Lily shifted the mop to her other hand. "We thought maybe we could do Dad's work until he gets better. We've helped him before. We know how to mop and empty trash cans and everything." The hallway had gone quiet. Patricia put her hand over her heart. 2 other executives had stepped out of their offices, drawn by the unusual scene. Victoria crouched down, her red suit jacket pulling slightly, bringing herself to eye level with the twins. This close, she could see the careful way their hair had been braided, probably by their father before he'd gotten too sick. She could see the small patch on Emma's vest, sewn with an expert but loving stitches. She could see the weight of worry these children carried, trying so hard to be grown up when they should have been playing, being children. "How old are you?" Victoria asked gently. 7 3/4, they answered in unison. "And your mother?" Emma's face fell slightly. "She's in heaven. It's been us and Dad since we were 4. Victoria felt something crack inside her chest, a fissure in the careful walls she'd built around her heart over decades of corporate climbing. She thought about her own daughter, Sophie, who'd called last week asking if they could have lunch. Victoria had been too busy, had rescheduled. Again, she stood up, her mind made up. "Patricia, cancel my 3 o'clock. Actually, cancel everything for the rest of the day." "Mrs. Ashford?" Patricia looked confused. Victoria turned to the twins. "Here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to put these mops away because you 2 are not cleaning anything. Second, you're going to tell me your address. And third, we're all going to go visit your father." "But what about his job?" Lily asked, her voice trembling slightly. "He can't lose his job. We'll have to move again, and Emma just made a friend at school, and he's not going to lose his job," Victoria said firmly. "I promise you that. I'm the CEO, remember?" "I can make that promise." An hour later, Victoria found herself in a modest apartment complex on the east side of the city, a world away from her usual haunts. The girls led her up 3 flights of stairs to a small 2-bedroom apartment. It was clean but worn, furnished with second-hand pieces that had been cared for with pride. Children's drawings covered the refrigerator. School books sat in neat stacks on a folding table. James Cooper was in bed, his face flushed with fever, looking shocked and mortified when Victoria walked into his bedroom with his daughters. "Mrs. Ashford, I'm so sorry," he said, trying to sit up. "The girls shouldn't have bothered you. I told Mrs. Patterson to keep them at her place. I didn't know that they came to save your job," Victoria interrupted gently. "They were going to clean the entire 42nd floor themselves." James closed his eyes, somewhere between pride and embarrassment. "I taught them to be responsible, maybe too responsible." "You taught them to be brave and loyal," Victoria corrected. "That's not a bad thing." She sat down in the worn chair beside his bed while the twins hovered in the doorway. "Mr. Cooper, I'm going to be direct because that's how I am. Your job is safe. You're going to take the time you need to recover properly. We'll arrange for temporary coverage, and it won't affect your contract." "I can't afford it." "You're not hearing me. This is paid sick leave. I'm authorizing it personally." She pulled out her phone. "I'm also going to make sure you see a better doctor. My physician is excellent, and he owes me a favor." "Mrs. Ashford, I don't need charity." "Yeah, it's not charity," Victoria said quietly. "It's decency. It's what should have been in place all along." She paused, looking at the family photos on his nightstand. James and the twins at a park, all three of them laughing. James teaching them to ride bikes. Birthday parties celebrated with homemade cakes and dollars toward decorations. She thought of her own apartment, so empty and pristine. "Your daughters walked into my office today with mops as tall as they are, ready to work to save their family," Victoria continued, her voice thick. "Do you know when the last time someone fought for me like that was? Showed up for me, no questions asked." James looked at her, really looked, and seemed to see past the expensive suit and the CEO title to the lonely woman underneath. "I'm going to do something else," Victoria said. "I'm going to review our contracts with the cleaning company. I'm going to make sure everyone has sick leave, health insurance, and fair wages. And I'm going to make sure I know the names of every person who works in my building, because today I realized I've spent 23 years walking past people without seeing them." Over the next 2 weeks, Victoria did exactly what she'd promised. She restructured the cleaning contracts. She established an employee assistance fund. She visited James and the twins 3 times, bringing soup from her favorite restaurant and helping Emma with her math homework. But more than that, she called her daughter. "Sophie, I know I cancelled lunch last week. I'm sorry." "I'm always sorry, but I'm wondering if you're free this Sunday. I'd like to try again, and this time, I promise I'll show up." On the day James returned to work, Victoria was working late. She heard his cart in the hallway and stepped out of her office. "Welcome back," she said. "How are you feeling?" "Much better, thanks to you." He paused. "The girls wanted me to give you this." He handed her a construction paper card, covered in glitter and careful handwriting. "Thank you for being our friend. Love, Emma and Lily. P.S. We got Lily's new glasses." Victoria held the card, feeling tears she hadn't cried in years threatening to spill over. "They changed my life," she said quietly. 2 little girls with mops, teaching a CEO what really matters. James smiled. "They have a way of doing that. Sometimes children see things more clearly than we do. They see what's right in front of us that we've forgotten to notice." That Sunday, Victoria had lunch with her daughter. They talked for 4 hours, really talked, building bridges across years of distance. Sophie brought her children, Victoria's grandchildren, whom she barely knew. She told them the story of Emma and Lily, and her granddaughter asked, "Can we meet them?" "I think that can be arranged," Victoria said. At 57, Victoria had thought her life was set, her choices made, her path determined. But 2 7-year-old girls had shown her that it's never too late to change, never too late to see what matters, never too late to choose connection over isolation. In her office, she kept the glitter-covered card in a frame on her desk, right next to her awards and certificates. Whenever she looked at it, she remembered that the greatest achievement isn't the corner office or the title on your door. It's showing up, being present, seeing people. It's 2 small girls with mops too tall for them, teaching you about courage and love and what it means to be truly successful. And it's never, ever too late to learn.